Hello and welcome back to another brief edition of Maddie's Rap. I'm your host, world-renowned author and storyteller, Matt D. Talford. In today's short video, we are talking about, we're talking about the easiest way to overcome fear. The easiest way to overcome fear. So I'll begin by asking you to ask yourself a question. What is the thing that I fear the absolute most out of everything in existence? What do I fear most? What am I afraid of? What frightens me? What is my major concern? You can write that down if you want. Actually, writing sometimes helps. So you can pause the video here and write it down. Now, once you identify what that thing is that you're afraid of, what thing you fear the most, and that is for you. That is not even for you to, talk with anyone else about. You don't have to leave that in the comments. That is personal. Once you identify whatever that thing is that you fear, what I want you to do next is to ask yourself, what does the opposite of that look like? Whatever this thing is that I fear, what does the opposite of that look like? It doesn't matter what it is. You can write it down, you can say it, you can tell it to yourself, you can take some time to think about it. The thing that you fear the most, what does the opposite reality look like? Why is that important? I'm glad you asked. There is nothing in existence that does not have an opposite. There's nothing that does not have an opposite. If you look at the atomic level, the atom, the subatomic particles that make up atoms are protons, electrons, and we won't talk about neutrons. Neutrons are the neutral energy that stabilizes and all that good stuff. We're just talking about protons and electrons. Protons, positive energy, electrons, negative energy. You don't have an atom without any one of those subatomic particles being present. If one of them is missing, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. Okay? So, with everything in existence, there is an opposite. So, when you are fearing something, there's an opposite reality that makes you very happy. Okay? So now, here's what I want you to understand. The reason why I ask you to figure out or to decide or think about or determine what the opposite reality looks like is because that is where I want you to put your thought energy. That is where I want you to put your thought energy. You manifest whatever you give thought energy to. Whatever you persistently give thought energy to, you are going to manifest it. I have that in my book, From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story. Okay? Fear and faith use the same channels to bring about the manifestation of things that exist in concept. Fear and faith it's like these factories in China where they make sneakers. Nikes, Pumas, Adidas, they're all typically made in the same factory. They're just different specs, but they're made in the same factory. So guess what? That factory here for us is the ether. It is everything that is around us. So when you consistently give thought energy to something that you fear, it is going to appear in your life. That is why it is important to stop and say, what is this thing that I fear the most? Okay. And ask why, too. Remember, I said with every what, there's a connected why. Let's say I'm a child who wants to learn how to ride a bicycle, and the first time I ride on it, I fall off and scrape my knee. When I walk past that bicycle, or when I see my friends out riding their bicycles and I might want to ride, the thing that might stop me is the fear of falling off that bicycle. Why do I have a fear of falling off that bicycle? Well, because the last time I did it, I scraped my knee and it bled and it hurt. And so I'm afraid I might fall off that bicycle again. Okay, what does the opposite reality look like? Well, the opposite reality looks like I'm on that bicycle, holding it steady, doing tricks, hanging out with my friends, having fun. Guess what? If I put my thought energy into being on that bicycle, doing tricks, having fun with my friends, guess what is going to be delivered to me from the ether? All of the information and assistance I need to make that reality a thing. Hey, son. Oh, what's going on, son? Hey, Dad, I want to ride my bike, but I'm trying to figure out how to get. Oh, okay. Well, here, let me hold the seat for you. Now, here's how you balance this bicycle with your steering wheel, whatever. Oh, you know what? Let's get you some training wheels. Whatever you give thought energy to is going to manifest. It always does. So, whatever the thing is that you fear, acknowledge it, but then think about what the opposite reality looks like. Think about what the opposite reality looks like. Some people fear flying. Why do you fear flying? Well, because, the plane might crash, whatever. So they don't fly. Now, they're not going to manifest a plane crash or whatever. Let me just put that out there. They're not going to manifest that because they're not going to get on a plane. But what does that opposite reality look like? Oh, I get on a flight. I go to some destination. I have a great time. You know what? Put the thought energy into getting on that flight, going to that faraway destination and having a great time. You're going to manifest that. That sounds simple, right? It is that simple. It is. Whatever you fear, identify what the opposite reality looks like. What's the opposite of fear? Love. In some cases is love. All right. I know my book is titled From Fear to Faith, but the opposite of fear, I think, is love. Because some people think the opposite of love is hate, but it's not. It is really fear, because we hate things that we fear. So the polar opposites, fear and love, or fear and love are polar opposites. So if you want to defeat fear, you can overcome it by thinking about whatever that thing is that you're fearing, what that opposite reality looks like for you. That is the cheat code I used to be here talking to you all some 12 years after being diagnosed with one of the worst forms of the C word that anybody can get. Small bowel cancer. It's one of the worst types. They call it the silent killer. I did not fear death. I did not fear death. Why? Because I did not put thought energy into how much time do I have left. My thought energy went into, all right, so here's where I want to go next year. I want to go to the U.S. Open next year. I'm going to go to the U.S. Open. Oh, I want to play in this tennis tournament. I'm going to play in this tennis tournament, and I'm going to train hard so I win. I'm doing this today. I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm going to detox next week so my body's clean, whatever. I only put thought energy into the things that I wanted to appear in my life. Do not put thought energy into things that you do not want to appear in your life. If you put thought energy into anything, you will eventually manifest it. So only put thought energy into things that you want to appear in your life. See yourself in that reality. Imagine yourself in that reality. Feel it. Feel it. Feel yourself in that. And you will make it happen. You'll bring it about. But when you fear the worst, fear and faith work the same way. They both bring about the manifestation of things that only exist in our imagination. So, I don't know who needed to hear that. It's a very powerful message. It's short, but it's very powerful. Again, if you're new to this channel and you like being inspired, you like being entertained, you like being motivated, hit that subscribe button. And to my new and returning subscribers, you guys know I love you to the moon and back. I'm gonna give y'all a round of applause because y'all are the meat. Y'all are the juice, all right? Y'all are the meat in the sandwich. Y'all are the juice in the glass. Y'all are the water in the canteen. Y'all are the fuel in the engine that makes the engine run. Y'all are why I do Maddie's Rap. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. You have no idea how much I love you guys and how much it means to me when you comment on a video and it's a legitimate comment. Like, there's sometimes people like, I don't like that shirt you got on. I don't like your hair. Okay, why did I need to know that? What's that got to do? I wasn't doing a hair video. So why are you telling me you don't like my hair? Keep that to yourself, all right? Because I don't care. And I'm probably going to do. And your comment was probably deleted. That's real. That's a real story. I've had people tell me they didn't like my hair for whatever reason. What? Really? I mean, we talking about Kyrie Irving and you want to tell me about my hair? Okay. Miss me with that until I do a hair video, all right? Anyway, y'all, I love you guys. Listen, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share it with someone that you think needs to hear this message. And you guys heard me mention it, From Fear to Faith, a survivor story. That is my story. 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare, and actually prior to 12 years ago, it was 13 years ago that I started feeling the symptoms. And then some months later, I got a diagnosis that it rocked me. It rocked me. It said, all right, Matt, it's go time. It's time to apply everything that you've ever learned. Everything that you have ever learned, it's time to apply it. Let's put it to the test. Let's put the word of God to the test. All right? Because if y'all really want to know, people said, man, how can you say you weren't afraid when, they told you were diagnosed with things that have killed a lot of people, or a thing that has killed a lot of people? I said, you know what? At the time that I was diagnosed, I was 38. I was 37 when I started feeling symptoms. I was 38 when I got diagnosed. And I remembered the word that my parents and my grandmother used to make me study when I was a little boy. I was in them scriptures when I was a little boy. And the one that stood out to me the most was, honor your mother and father and your days will be long. So that was all I needed to hear. Because I said, you know what? I said, Father, when I prayed, I said, Father, I've honored my mother and father all the days of my life. And I'm 38 years old. And 38 ain't old. 38 ain't long life on this earth. So now I know that this diagnosis was not put here to end my life. It was put here to enhance my life and help catapult me toward my purpose. In that book, I explained the very principles I talked about today. Okay? You guys can get that book on ebook, on Apple iBooks or Amazon Kindle. If you prefer to hold the book in your hand, I will be happy to autograph it for you. You can order it from my website, www.talfordarts.com. You can also get it at Amazon.com. And for those of you that prefer audiobooks, it's on audiobook and it's not a robotic voice reading the narrative. It's yours truly, okay? And so that's From Fear to Faith, a survivor story. And for those of you who like fiction, those of you who like these tales of passion and self-discovery, that I won't tell you the story behind how I came about writing Stuck in an Elevator. But Stuck in an Elevator is a tale of passion and self-discovery that takes place high above the Los Angeles skyline. Okay? And in it, there's some powerful lessons that may even show you some things about yourself. All right? That is Stuck in an Elevator. And last but not least, for those of you in the tennis community, I promise you will not find another book on the market like Captain's Mate. It is the only book written by and for United States Tennis Association players, professional or amateur. Okay? And it also has some powerful mental game enhancers for those of you who are players or coaches. Okay? All right? Some very powerful leadership principles in there too. If you're in a leadership position in your job or whatever, or in your home and you like tennis or whatever. So that's Captain's Mate. No other book like it on the market. And that also is available in ebook format as well as paperback at my website, www.talfordarts.com. Hey guys, I'm going to end this video like I do them all. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Okay? Love is a verb. It is a noun as well. But when we focus on the verb version of love, showing love, then the noun version always takes care of itself. If you want love, show love. If you want love to abound in your life, show that love and be that love. I love you guys. Peace.